Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 20th of December 2022. Now with just 11 days to go for the end of this month, the global cryptocurrency market is in an absolute turmoil. Now it is on the verge of going below the $800 billion mark. Now I really am not sure what is going on with the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but look guys, 2022 has if not been one of the worst years for Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and particularly for DeFi. At the start of the year, only the market share of Bitcoin was $1.3 trillion. So almost $1 trillion has been wiped off from Bitcoin, and this is because of the collapse of Terra Luna, FTX, and the general geopolitical situation between Ukraine and Russia has definitely not helped with the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about QuadrigaCX. If you've been in the cryptocurrency space going back to 2016 or 17, you should have known about QuadrigaCX because it went defunct because the CEO apparently passed away. And when he passed away, he also had the private keys. But what has happened earlier today is that mysteriously, someone has moved transactions using the private wallet that belonged to the CEO. Now, could it be possible that there is some notorious activity going on, or is he back from the dead? So we're going to be discussing that in today's episode. And in today's episode, we're also going to be discussing about Gate.io, which is one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, and they have obtained several licenses to operate in different states in the United States of America. Now look guys, while the global cryptocurrency market is in a bearish trend, it is an ideal time to build these things, and I do feel that over a long period of time, Gate.io will definitely be benefited by it. And we also have some news regarding Binance. Now, since the last week or so, Binance is facing a lot of FUD, and a lot of people have withdrawn their funds from the exchange. But despite all the FUD, they are planning to acquire Voyager, and we'll definitely go ahead and explore that news. And regarding China, we have some news regarding Metaverse, and they are planning to invest $28.7 billion into Metaverse. So we'll go ahead and explore that in today's news. But regarding UAE, we have both the news which are connected to Metaverse. And the first news is about MX Hub in Dubai that has plans to launch its Metaverse incubator. And I'm going to be sharing my opinions and thoughts on it. And the second news is about geidea. They are entering the Metaverse, and they are doing this in collaboration with Magnati. A few months ago, I did cover about Magnati, and they were planning to have grocery stores in the Metaverse. So really interesting concept. Now what makes it interesting is both geidea and Magnati are payment processors. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future holds in the Metaverse. So let's talk about all these things in today's episode. So welcome everyone, it's A-Team here in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes in the Crypto Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. And every Fridays we have an episode called Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse. So please check out those episodes as well. The format for Metaverse Everything is completely different, and I tend to publish a daily and weekly report via my LinkedIn. So please follow me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. But before we kickstart today's episode, we have an important message, so check this out. Firstly guys, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called Rise in the Obstacle Course Race, and Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs, and these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, since you've taken care of that, let's look at the global cryptocurrency market. Now look guys, there is a very high possibility in the next few days, maybe even in the next couple of hours, the global cryptocurrency market will go below the $800 billion mark. This is absolutely tragic, considering the fact that the market cap of only Bitcoin alone was over $1.3 trillion, and the global cryptocurrency market was on the verge of crossing the $3.5 trillion mark. Fast forward to the end of this year, the global cryptocurrency market as of 20th of December stands at $809.90 billion. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.38%. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is only down to $37.33 billion, but since the last 24 hours, it has increased by 60.62%. It looks like December is turning out to be one of the worst months in 2022. Now, I was really hoping that December does show some signs of bullish indication, but unfortunately that is not the case. The total volume in DeFi is down to $1.90 billion, and as of today, 20th of December, $39.72 billion has been locked in DeFi protocols. Now, this number again, guys, might just be the lowest total value locked in the history of DeFi. So it's going to be really interesting to see by the end of the year what the total value locked is. One thing which I've said often on my podcast, on the 3rd of Jan of this year, the total value locked was $243 billion. And today, 20th of December, looks like this might be the lowest in the history of DeFi protocols. Now, MakerDAO accounts for 15.14% with $6.01 billion locked in its protocol. Lido is number 2nd at $5.91 billion. And so far as Aave and Curve is concerned, looks like the dangers have erased. And Aave's total value locked is $3.71 billion. And Curve is at $3.64 billion. And Uniswap is at $3.35 billion. Now let's quickly look at the volume of stable coins. The volume of stable coins is down to $36.61 billion since the last 24 hours, and Tether USDT accounts for $26.02 billion. Circle USDC is at $2.57 billion, and Binance USD is at $5.69 billion. And look guys, right now, there is a hearing going on regarding FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Interestingly, both the sides of politicians, that is right-wing and left-wing politicians, were on the side of having regulations for stable coins. So in 2023 or 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if the volume of stable coins drastically goes down, and that would rightly be the right thing to do as well, because ideally in the cryptocurrency world, the volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum or the cryptocurrencies should be the dominating factor. Now, as of today, stablecoin accounts for 92.69% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now let's quickly look at the market share. 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin's market share is at $323 billion, This is absolutely terrible. Now, really, I'm hoping that when the next halving occurs, there should be an upshot in the market cap of Bitcoin. Ethereum's market cap is at $147 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $21.4 billion. Ethereum is at $6.3 billion. The dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum is pretty much the same. Bitcoin's dominance, though, has marginally gone up at 39.89%. And Ethereum's dominance is at 18.20%. Now, this week, guys, I'm also going to be looking at the market cap of smart contracting platform. Ethereum's market cap has gone down and it is currently at $148 billion. But the biggest hit is Binance BNB, and this is because of the FUD. There were allegations of money laundering, people withdraw funds from its exchange, and generally speaking, Binance CZ has been taking quite a lot of heat because of the collapse of FTX. Now, this is definitely no fault of his, but nonetheless, Binance BNB, that is the smart contracting platform, its market cap is down to $39.57 billion. Cardano is at $18.90 billion. Polkadot is at $5.45 billion, and Tron is at number 5 and has replaced Solana, and Tron's market cap is at $5.01 billion. Now look, guys, the massive news that is breaking in the cryptocurrency world, that is about QuadrigaCX. Now, QuadrigaCX is from Canada, and I do believe they started way back in 2013, but what happened is that the CEO had the private keys of all the funds that were in cryptocurrency exchange, and he apparently had gone to India and he passed away. Now, there's a lot of suspicion about his death. Did he actually die, or was it some kind of notorious activity that is going on? But nonetheless, the news is that Bitcoins linked to the QuadrigaCX that went underwater after its founder's mysterious death are suddenly on the move, and $1.7 million in Bitcoin tied to the exchange has reawakened after years of dormancy. Now, there are 5 wallets in question, and all these 5 wallets have unexpectedly moved, and 104 Bitcoins have been moved, and this happened on the 17th of December for the very first time. Now, if you want to find out what the wallet addresses are, click on the show notes below. You can see the show notes because there is a Twitter ID who has mentioned these wallet addresses. Now, interestingly, in 2019, CoinDesk had published an article that stated researchers did identify a group of Bitcoin addresses that likely belong to the cold wallets of the failed exchange that is Quadriga. And earlier today, they also updated an article that linked to the previous article going back to 2019 and how they saw some movements in Bitcoin. So it looks like there was definitely some notorious activity going on regarding the former CEO of QuadrigaCX. And guys, in Netflix, they also had a documentary called as Trust No One, The Hunt for the Crypto King. Now, if you watch the documentary, I thought they did an horrendous job because they missed quite a lot of crucial details. But in case if you watch the documentary, you would understand what is going on regarding QuadrigaCX. So in a nutshell, the CEO had the private keys of all the funds for QuadrigaCX. He mysteriously passed away all the way back in India. They could not find his dead body because apparently his dead body was cremated and the funds were completely gone. But on 17th of December, the 5 wallet addresses that were linked to QuadrigaCX did see a movement of $1.7 million in Bitcoin. So roughly around 104 Bitcoins were moved. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this story particularly develops. And look, guys, since the last few months, there have been terrible things happening, particularly in the cryptocurrency space. If you have been in the cryptocurrency space since a very long time, you should know that bearish market is the time. So my overarching theme or message is, when the market is showing signs of bearish indicators, definitely an ideal time to build. And Gate.io is just doing that. Now, Gate.io is one of the leading cryptocurrency exchange with over 1,400 cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. And I believe they are in the top 4 cryptocurrency exchange. And they have just mentioned via the blog that they have obtained licenses to operate in several United States, along with a money service business license from FinCEN leading up to its local launch. So it could be possible that in 2023, there will be a lot of news regarding Gate.io, particularly in USA. And Cointelegraph article also states that the exchange is slated to provide services to both retail and institutional users when it opens to US customers. And look, guys, Gate.io is a reputable exchange, but not your keys, not your crypto. Make sure that you always remember that. And last 2 weeks, there is a lot of FUD particularly to do with Binance, and I did talk about it on my podcast last week as well. Now, CC, the CEO of Binance, is definitely adamant, and he definitely seems to be the right figure leading Binance. Now, despite the FUD surrounding Binance US, which is a different entity, has planned to acquire Voyager Digital assets for $1 billion, and this is in a bankruptcy bid. Voyager did go completely belly up because of the Terra Luna collapse, because generally the market went down. Now, if you go through the Binance USA blog, you can actually see that they have stated that they have entered an agreement with Voyager Digital Limited in order to acquire its assets, and Binance US, which is a different entity to Binance, will make a good faith deposit of $10 million and will also reimburse Voyager for certain expenses up to $15 million. And Voyager will also seek the approval of bankruptcy court at a hearing on 5th of Jan 2023. Despite the market being in turmoil, despite being so much of FUD in Binance USA is definitely willing to go ahead and acquire Voyager. And I do believe that Sam Bankman-Fried also was trying to acquire Voyager at one point of time, but I really am not sure what happened to that deal. And thankfully, that deal did not go through, because now Binance US can go ahead and acquire Voyager Digital. They might be able to save Voyager, and at the end of the day, the customers potentially could get their funds back as well. Now let's talk about some news all the way from China. Now look guys, who do you think is going to be the world leader so far as Metaverse is concerned? China is planning to invest $28.7 billion in Metaverse. So what happened earlier today is that the SCMP, that is South China Morning Post, posted an article that Zhejiang province, home to Alibaba, eyes 200 billion yuan, which is approximately $28.7 billion, Metaverse industry by 2025. And the article also states that the Eastern province aims to develop Metaverse-related industries by 2025, and it has also issued warnings about risks in the Metaverse industry as local governments and enterprises flock into booming sector. So look guys, what I'm going to be doing is every Fridays, I do have an episode called Metaverse Everything, so I'll try to dissect this in detail. Now, in the meantime, what do you guys think? Who will be leading the Metaverse race? Will it be China? Will it be the United States of America? Or a few days ago, I did talk about Netherlands. That country was the most ready so far as Metaverse is concerned. Or will it be Turkey? Or will it be United Arab Emirates? What are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. Now let's look at two news regarding UAE. And the first news is about MX Hub, which is in Dubai. They have announced its launch of its Metaverse incubator. Now, to be honest, when I did do a bit of research, I did find this company to be a little bit skeptical. But that being said, they might be offering good services, particularly for startups and for new entrants in the Metaverse. So let me try to give some information what MX Hub Dubai is. Now, the website is mxhub.co, that is M for mother, X for X-ray, H for Harry, U for umbrella, B for Bravo, .co. And guys, MX was founded to become a physical and virtual home for technology and people from every corner of the earth who want to change the world with cutting-edge innovation and ideas. And guys, MX will include components that will encompass the full needs of any company, individual or idea that needs the tools to commercialize, scale, and grow. Now, if you go to the website, all this information is on the website. Some of the services that the group provides is that of an analyst firm, workspace, commercialization, and quite a lot of other. If you look at the social media presence, I must say it is absolutely horrendous. If you go to the Twitter profile, they just have 7 followers. YouTube channel just has 3 subscribers, and they also have a Discord group with 6 members, and currently there was just 1 online member. So the news that I'd like to talk about is MX Hub Dubai announces launch of its Metaverse incubator. So what's going to happen with this news is MX Hub members get a revolutionary framework is designed to help startups accelerate the presence via the MTech rating system. The MX Hub ecosystem provides a virtual office, registration, licensing at a fraction of the cost of setting up your own company in Dubai. And they also have a program called as MX Program. So the MX Program integration is based on a framework of transparency, trust and reporting that includes due diligence, inclusion in rating of top 100 emerging tech companies, strategic sessions with globally renowned experts like Brett King, aimed at improving startups, strategy, PR, sales technical integration with synergetic service providers to facilitate sales and commercial rollout and participation and exposure across MX100 events. Now look guys, when I went through the ad, it does look like it's more of just a sales promotion as opposed to making an entry in the metaverse. And they also have a thing called as X Hub, which is by Phygital. So essentially it is a custom-made, first-of-a-kind Phygital platform created to help startups and high-tech companies to find investments, customers and strategic partners, help investors filter opportunities and make the right investments, and their creative unique physical space is supported by virtual twin version with multifunctional options, VIP meeting spaces and chat rooms to meet investors and clients. But if you read through the article which is published by Xavier, it does look like they're trying to sell a subscription service. So if you are a startup, you need to pay them quite a lot of money. So let me try to give some more information. It is essentially a custom-made, first-of-its-kind digital platform created to help startups and high-tech companies to find investments, customers and strategic partners, help investors filter opportunities and make the right investments, and their creative, unique physical space is supported by virtual twin version with multifunctional options, VIP meeting spaces and chat rooms to meet investors and clients. Now, all of these things sounds great, and on the website they say that they have 200 million users who use products of partners. Now, it's a bit tricky when you mention that, because let's say if they have a minor partnership with Microsoft, who's just giving them, let's say, a rental space, are they using the Microsoft users in advertising on the website as well? Looks like that's what they are doing, because if you compare it with the social media presence, it is definitely questionable. And they've also mentioned that they also have 160 plus startup working with MX. But nonetheless, it's still some interesting news, and if you're a startup who's trying to look at an incubator, definitely worthwhile looking into that. Now let's talk about the second news, and this is about geidea. They have entered Metaverse in collaboration with Magnati. So let me try to give some information on what geidea is, what Magnati is. Now geidea, the website is geidea.net, that is G for George, E for Elephant, I for India, D for David, E for Elephant, A for Alpha.net. So essentially it is a flexible and integrated point of sale solution to run restaurants, quick dining cafes, food trucks and cloud kitchens, and they're located in one central in Sheikh Zayed Road, which is World Trade Center. So essentially, it is a new way to accept all type of payments and manage your entire business. And they currently process more than 5 million transactions on a daily basis, 700,000 point of sale terminals, 75% of Saudi market share, 150,000 trusted merchants, local and international brands, SMEs and e-commerce businesses. So they definitely have the hands in the payment industry. Now let me try to give some information of what Magnati is, because I did cover them a couple of months ago, where they were one of the first companies in UAE to go fully on board in Metaverse. So essentially Magnati is using the next generation technologies, and Magnati does something similar to what geidea does. They offer payment solutions and services for all industry, and Magnati is your partner for secure, swift and convenient payment allocations. So it's good to see that both of them are merging and they are entering the Metaverse, and they plan to be the first Metaverse marketplace in the MENA region to enable merchants to provide seamless customer experiences in Magnati MetaV. So let me try to give some information what Magnati MetaV is. Magnati MetaV is a virtual platform where people can get a physical and sensory experience as they shop, learn and play games, attend events and more online, all from the comfort of their homes. And geidea and Magnati aim to elevate the retail experience by providing merchants with tailored data and insights, including visual representation of products and services, real-time customer experiences, opportunities for revenue generation for brick and mortar industries, and experiential commerce seamlessly integrated to existing payment gateways, and customers can view and interact with retail offerings in 3 dimensions using customizable avatars in an online environment. A variety of retail categories including fashion, food, gaming and technology will be available for customers to browse, pick up, try on and buy, and customizable avatars. So it's going to be really interesting when augmented reality becomes mainstream, when virtual reality becomes mainstream, because customizable avatars enable users to explore a discovery-driven online environment where merchants and consumers can see and feel retail offerings in multi-dimension. Look guys, this might take some time to go mainstream. I'm looking at least 5 to 8 years from now, but nonetheless, the platform is fully integrated with traditional payments rails and gateways so that shoppers can pay for products and services on Magnati Metaverse through cards, wallets, and other accepted payment methods for a completely familiar payment experience. Now, keeping all these things in mind, I definitely do think that this is a good partnership. And Sailesh Malhotra, who's the general manager GCC of geidea, has said, "At geidea, we remain committed to empowering merchants to grow and scale their businesses. Through this exciting partnership with Magnati, we are tapping into a rapidly expanding, brand new world of e-commerce. We are providing merchants with a fully immersive experience, a groundbreaking and digitally enhanced offering to help elevate the overall retail experience in the Magnati Metaverse universe." And Salim Awan, the managing director of institutional payments for Magnati, has said, "Magnati is proud to collaborate with geidea to offer merchants in the region a more immersive ways to reach the customers. And through Magnati Metaverse, customers can clearly visualize, feel, and know that they are paying for, and merchants can unlock opportunities for revenue generations." So this idea, so far as merchants' voice is concerned, it does solve quite a lot of problem. They might be having customer service as well. They might be able to customize and give you data and information that you require on an hourly and on a daily basis. But look guys, when you talk about Metaverse, why use your regular form of payments? Why not use cryptocurrencies instead? Now this partnership will be great at least for the next 3 to 5 years, but after that, there is a very high possibility that there might be central bank digital currencies which will be going mainstream. So really I'm not sure at this point of time if they do have an option in the near future to accept central bank digital currencies. Now they did mention about wallets, so I'm really curious to find out if they're accepting cryptocurrencies as well. But nonetheless, definitely good news. So that's all for today guys on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com and check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And also check out my website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well. News that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And this is followed by the Ask Me Anything series that you're listening to right now, where your listeners can ask any questions from the cryptocurrency world. I have a question by Charles who asks, do you think Binance could crash? Now look, never say never, Charles. There is a very high possibility that Binance could crash, but knowing the history of CZ and Binance, it is very unlikely that Binance could crash. Now, if you know the history of Binance in particular, they have been extremely legitimate, and CZ has been extremely transparent. Now, in 2019, Binance did suffer a hack, and at that point of time, Binance just proved to the world that they are very transparent. They did actually say that they had an hack, they had the right protocols, and one thing which CZ and Binance is proud of is called as funds are safer. They did reimburse every customer. They made sure that the protocol is extremely safe. That being said, could it be possible that Binance could crash? It is extremely possible. Let's say if every customer decides to withdraw all the funds, it could be possible that Binance could go belly up as well. But knowing the history, I would say 90% chances are that Binance will sustain and Binance will continue at least for the next couple of decades. And one thing which I did mention in my podcast a few weeks ago, I did ask this question, that is Binance actually stronger and bigger than Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies combined? And surprisingly, if you know the history of Binance, the number of businesses they have been doing, it is extremely possible that Binance is bigger and stronger than Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. So to answer your question, Charles, I don't think Binance could potentially crash. They have been extremely open. What I would recommend you to do is read through their blogs. Go to the Binance.com website. Now they do have different websites. One catered to, let's say, Middle East, one catered to US. The US entity is completely different, but read through their blogs. They are extremely transparent. And so far as the funds of proof of concern, there is some drama going on. But again, not your keys, not your crypto. So personally, I don't keep my funds in cryptocurrency exchange. That being said, Binance has acquired quite a lot of other cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, it's really difficult to work in the cryptocurrency space because so far as crypto Twitter is concerned, people tend to keep bashing each and every person. And Binance is kind of like the beacon of light and kind of like the hope in doing the right things. So I don't think, Binance would crash. I have another question by Daniel who asks, what is your year-end price prediction? Now look, Daniel, my price predictions and everyone's price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time. I must say that I was expecting December to be a positive month for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and my reasoning was that December is when people tend to get the salaries in advance, they tend to get the performance bonus, they tend to get Christmas bonus, and a part of that fund will be utilized to buy cryptocurrency, something which happened in December of 2017, because that was the time when Bitcoin pumped to its highest, and a similar trend was observed in 2021 as well. But looks like this particular month, that trend has completely reversed. So to be honest, I do think that the price might just be about the same. So I'm looking at the same price predictions for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as what it is right now. That might continue towards probably even the first or second quarter of 2023. But once again, Daniel, I could be 100% wrong. Let's say if there is a news comes up about another cryptocurrency exchange, or let's say something which Charles asked earlier, if Binance were to completely crash, it is possible that the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will terribly go down as well. Now, I don't see at this point of time, by the end of the year, the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the cryptocurrencies would go up. And earlier today, what happened is that Elon Musk, he did have a poll asking people that, if he should step down as the CEO, and a lot of them said that he needs to step down as the CEO. Because of that, the price of Dogecoin actually went down by 11%. So the news which is not connected to cryptocurrencies can also have a massive impact. One thing which is running at the back of my mind right now is Michael Saylor. What if he decides to sell all of his Bitcoins? In that case, I wouldn't be surprised if the price of Bitcoin completely collapses to less than $10,000. Or what if an institutional firm goes ahead and buys more Bitcoin and starts to portray positive things about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies? If that happens, the price of Bitcoin could immediately shoot up and we might see a U-shaped recovery as well. So what I feel is by the end of this month, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies most likely will remain the same. It might remain the same probably towards the end of the first quarter as well. But in the second or third quarter, I do feel that CBDCs, that is central bank digital currencies, news will be picking up, and hopefully by then the inflation numbers in US are relatively calmer as well, and you might see some potential or some signs of a bullish indicator so far as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are concerned. Now, at this point of time, I really think what startups and firms need to focus on is build newer and innovative things. And Daniel, I believe Vitalik Buterin, he also has published an article that in 2023 there are 3 areas that you need to focus on. So most likely in tomorrow's episode, I'll go ahead and try to cover that. So that's all for today, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, or also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you have any feedback or suggestions, mention them in the comments below. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes of the Crypto Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other 2 news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.